What's up, everybody? It's Missy Barra, and I made a haunted castle birthday cake for my friend. So I wanted to show you how to do it because it's so amazing, and I was inspired by the Palace of Fine Arts, which is a monumental structure located in the Marina District of San Francisco in California, originally built for the 1915 Panama Pacific International Exposition to exhibit works of art. It was completely taken down and then rebuilt from 1964 to 1974, and it is the only structure from the exposition that survives on site. And doesn't this kind of remind you of a castle? Well, it does me anyway. So yeah, this is why I wanted to make a castle. So you're going to need a cup of water, half a cup vegetable oil, 3 eggs, and the mix, and a few other things I'll tell you about along the way. All of the ingredients will be in the description so you can buy them from Amazon. So the first thing I did was mix my batter together to make a beautiful dark chocolate cake batter like this, and I poured it into a square pan and I followed all the directions which are right on the box. Okay, now I made the same thing but made them into cupcakes. So you're going to see what we're going to do with all this in just a minute. Look how beautiful those are. I learned a lot about castles, like that there's battlements, a moat, arrow loops, a tower, barbican, bailey, portcullis, and a drawbridge. So all of these things are going to be on my castle. So you know those beautiful cones that are on top of the towers? Well, I'm going to make those out of ice cream cones, and I'm just going to cover them in melted chocolate. This is just a Hershey's chocolate bar that I melted in the microwave, and then leave them in the refrigerator so that they get nice and hard. Next, I'm taking out my cake, and this is going to be the bailey, or the center of the castle. And these are going to be the towers of the castle. So I'm going to make 2, stack them up, add some frosting, and then put the cone on top once the chocolate is nice and hard. Remember, you can make your castle any colors you want to, because they've got all kinds of colored frostings out there. Now that all of these structures are put together, I'm frosting everything. The frosting is kind of like the glue for this beautiful cake. And then we're going to add some more decorations in just a second. Now I am adding the windows with some Hershey's rectangles, and you can cut them and make them squares if you want to. So putting those on, also adding some arrow loops, which are the windows. Now that the windows are done, I can put on the turrets onto the towers. And as the frosting hardens in the refrigerator, when I put everything in there, it'll get a little bit easier to make them straight because they're kind of crooked right now. Now I'm going to make the portcullis and drawbridge out of this, it's kind of like a fruit bar, and put that on. The portcullis is the door and the drawbridge is the bridge. Now I put this on some foil paper on purpose so that I could add food coloring in blue and green to make water, which is the moat. Now I'm putting on some of that extra cupcakes, and I drowned them in frosting that I melted to make the battlements. So this is the tops of the walls along the perimeter of the castle. It's time to put the torches and sconces into the castle's beautiful walls. I did cut off a little bit of the tip to find the hole where my toothpick would be able to go in, and I added some frosting to glue it in nicely. And one more detail is that I wanted to add some ghosts. So I just put little Google eyes that are edible, they are candies, around the castle. All right, it's time for the party. So I put everything together on my beautiful Gothic table. And I've got my candles lit, or my torches, for my beautiful haunted castle. It looks spectacular. I hope you have fun making your haunted castle. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I will talk to you next time. Also, don't forget how fabulous you are. Bye-bye.